Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on Alex Builds we have got stage 16 of Hero Collector's Build Your Own Ghostbusters Ecto 1. So stage 16 is mainly all about the steering. Let me show you. So these are the parts we get, loads of little pieces in there. So it could be a fiddly issue, not too sure yet. So let's get to the part where we start building in here. So stage 16, what we're going to be doing is first off we're going to be fitting the stabilizing bar to the front just here with two little tabs down here. Then we're going to be assembling the steering arms and attaching them to the actual vehicle itself. Then we're going to be fitting the steering pinion on here. Then we're going to be adding the steering column, so the actual steering bit that the actual steering wheel is attached to is going to be fitted in this issue. Then we're going to be fitting the engine to there, and that's going to be permanently fixed on there. Adding a few pipes, and then we get to fit the wheel as well in this issue until we end up with something that looks a little like that. And then if we flip back to the front of the book, we can see what's coming up in stage 17. We get our second wheel. To stage 16 there is quite a few steps to do, so let's get these parts out of the packaging and start building. Okay, so we got our parts out of the packaging, and these are the ones we have to start off with first. We have got 16A and 2 of 16B. We also get an absolute abundance of screws this time. We get BM, DM, KM, BP, LM, MM and IM screws with this issue. So the first thing we're going to need is BP screws, and we're going to secure them into here. So first thing, we'll get our BP screws, we'll get one loaded up, and then we'll show you where the part's going to go. So this has two sides to it. We've got a flush side and we've got an indent on this side here. So we want the side with the indent, and this can go in either way, this one. And then we're going to get our BP screw, and we're going to screw that through there, trying to keep a bit of pressure on this. Can be quite fiddly to hold this one, but there we go, nice and tight. Now we can do exactly the same for the opposite side. And push that in. Let's get the screw started, it'll be the easier. Like that, and I can get a better grip and try and straighten that out a bit, because I can do that very straight. That's better. Like that, nice and tight, and that's what you should have with both these nice and straight either side. So we brought in our chassis, and we want this part facing up, so the groove area facing up. And the part we just made, with these 2 points facing up the way, put them this way, they're going to slot underneath there, like this. Make sure you get it the right way around, until you can see the both screw holes, one through each side, and it's going to just come just underneath this point in the centre here. I'm going to need BP screws, one in each side, to keep it in. So let's get our first one. I'm just going to start both sides off, I think will be easier, so I don't have to try and hold this part. That's the first one just started, and now we'll get the second one started. We can screw this one all the way down once we've got it started, all the way, just like that. Now we'll do exactly the same with this side. All the way down, just like that. And now we have got our stabilizing bar installed into our chassis. So next we need these two parts here, which are little tiny brackets, and these are 16C, and we're going to put one of these on either side. So let's put our first one on, we'll drop that over this side, and that's going to sit on there. It does have a location nipple on there to help you get it in the right place, and one this side as well. They're both exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which one you put which side, as long as you put the locating pin in the locating pin hole. So now we're going to need BM screws, one in each hole, so there's 4. And let's get the first one in. That's the first one, and now the second one. That one in, and now we'll do exactly the same with the opposite side. One in the top, just like that, and now one in the bottom as well. Just like that. So that's what you should have up until this point. So next we're going to be assembling the steering arms, and we're going to need this section here, which is like the ziggy-zag shaped part with a big bit at the bottom, and that is metal. And we're also going to need this part here, which looks like a little lever, and it has this part on it. The other one does not have that part on it. We do get two very similar, but one has a longer sort of snout at the top here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this part, and from the bottom we're going to feed that up, and then we're going to put a KM screw just in here to keep that into place. So I'm just going to move that to the side just for a sec. Grab a KM screw, and let's secure this down. We're not going to worry about the orientation of this lower part just yet. We're just going to sort of loosely put it in so it can move just like that, and then we're going to locate it onto here. So we're going to flip this over just like that, and this is going just here. So we can put this down over that, and we're going to put a LM screw through the top here. Just like that. That's the first part in. Now we can flip this over, turning it over, and this part that we left a little bit loose, we can turn that round and we can secure that onto there, this time with a DM screw. So I'm going to turn it round so I can hold it underneath with my finger just to keep this bar from pushing down. Slot our screw into place and screw that all the way down. Nice and tight, and we want that to be loose anyway, because when we turn, that's going to turn with our steering. So I'm just going to tighten this up onto here, because this is a little loose. I want this a little bit tighter, so I'm just going to back it off, and then back down we go. That's better. Just like that. So when we turn, I'll try and show you. Flip it round actually. So this is the arm we just put in here. When we turn it, it turns with the actual steering bar itself. So next we're going to need this big bulky part here, and this has got a little bit of weight to it. You turn this over, and this is going to go on the opposite side where we did that, so it's going to go in here. And when we line this up, we want it facing down the way, and you'll feel it sort of slot in. And then we're going to need an LM screw for this end here, and then a DM screw through this hole here. So let's get them in. So I'll put the DM screw in first. It's going to go in this back one here. All the way down, and an LM screw in this one here. Just like that. That is that part in place. And now we can take this part, which has got this like jaggy part at the top, and this is going to go straight down the centre, just in there. Now we can turn this over, keep our finger on this side so this doesn't come back out, and then we can bring in this part that we just had. As you can see, it's got like a notch cut out on here, and we've got the same notch cut out on there, and that could be screwed onto there with a DM screw. So we'll try and get a DM screw one-handed. Drop that screw over, put that into there. Now we can secure that down. Just like that, and then exactly the same through this hole here with another DM screw. So now I don't need to hold the bottom of that because it ain't going to fall out anymore. We can help line this up with this other hand. So support the bar from underneath again like we did with the other side. Screw that all the way down, just like that, and now both sides should move with the actual steering. Okay, so now we're going to fit our steering bar, and this again is metal. I think all the parts in this one has been metal. We do have a notch at the top here. We want that facing down. It does emphasize that in the magazine that this one wants to go down. So basically all this is going to do is locate onto here, sitting in the little groove. We've got a sort of a rest area here, we can put that on. So put that on there, and then we can take this part here and put that over the top, just like so, and then we can secure that down with MM screws on one side and DM screws on the other. So I'm going to put the MMs on first because they're quite longer, and they go on the outside. First MM screw going down, just like that, and now we'll do our second one. Just drop that into the hole, screw that down, and then we need DM screws for the opposite side on the inside just here. So I'm going to drop that one in, just there, and let's get this one screwed into place. And the very last DM screw is going in here. So there we go, that's our steering rod on there. So now when we turn that, that should turn our steering wheel. So next we're going to bring in our engine, this big old thing here, and this is going to locate on a few points on the front here. So when we lower this down, it does have grooves cut out here for this to sit in. So when we lower it down, I'll try and get it so you can see it. We have got a groove at the front here, this part, and that's going to sit just in there, just like that. Let me double check, make sure it's in all the grooves, which it is. So now we can start securing this on. So we're going to need some IM screws. We're going to need to turn this over, and we're going to put 2 IM screws in the bottom. So I'm going to rest it on the top of there. So let's turn it over, resting that just onto there, and we've got 2 IM screws going just next to the top parts just here. Let's get the first one in, just down this hole just here. And the second one on the opposite side. Just like that. Now we can turn it, well, we don't want to turn it just yet, we've got one more screw. Where's that going? That's going in here, down the bottom. That's going to be an LM screw. This is going just down the bottom, just behind this tank part, just here. There's a little hole just here. Let's get that one all secured down. Just like that. And now when we turn this over, our engine is now attached to the chassis. Okay, so now we're going to be putting these two black cables on, and they're going just down this side here. There's two nipples on the back of this tank here, and then on the top of this tank here. So I'm going to put the most awkward one in first, which is this bottom one down here. Again, you can use a cocktail stick to widen the holes, or warm or hot water will also help widen it. Some better tweezers, I think. That's that one on, and the bottom one is going to go to the far side, so let's get that one slotted in. So it's going to be really awkward because it's small for you to see it, so I'll try and get you a better angle actually. Onto the back nipple, just like that, and then you can put the other one on, which should be a bit easier. I'm just going to widen this because that one was quite difficult to get on. I don't think I widened it enough. The first one, second one, and now we can slide this on to the top one here. And then onto this one just here. So that one went on a lot easier on the back, just there. And that is what you should have so far. So now what we've got to do is we've got to bring in the wheel that we made all the way back towards the beginning of the build actually. And we're going to put this onto here, slide it onto this brake drum all the way on. We can turn that so you can see, and then we're going to use a LM screw straight down here, so drop that in, and we can tighten this all the way up. Just like that. And that is our first wheel on. As you can see, it turns really nicely, and when we turn it round, look at that. They're a lot more stable than the DeLorean wheels, these feel. And now the only thing we've got to do is put the cap on. Now I very much doubt I'm ever going to take these wheels off. Unlike the DeLorean where you get 3 different sets of wheels you can put on. Very much doubt we're going to be taking these off. So I'm going to be putting in the cap and push that into there. And I don't think you're ever going to get that out once you push that in. So make sure you're happy with the wheel being on before you push this in, because you ain't going to get it back out without completely damaging it. And that is this issue complete. That's it guys, that is stage 16 all complete, and there was a few fiddly parts in that, especially at the beginning where holding the part, that was a little bit fiddly for me, and then towards the end with the 2 pipes, putting them in. If I had one bit of advice, if you haven't done this step yet, then do that before you attach the engine to the actual chassis itself. The 2 parts that go into the engine, attach them first, and then attach the engine to the chassis, and then plug them 2 parts into the actual steering column. I think that would be 10 times easier than trying to get in there with very little access. So if you like this video guys, please leave a like down below, and if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Till next time guys, take care, bye bye.